Hey, let me start with a question that I often ask men in recovery. Do you find yourself caught in the circle of insanity when it comes to your recovery? You know, what does that mean? You keep trying to do the same thing, convincing yourself that what you know isn't working someday will. You know, addiction was struggle enough. Let's not struggle with our recovery. I mean, if you find yourself caught in the circle of insanity, how many meetings, who's my sponsor, who do I listen to, this guy makes sense, but he relapsed last week, you have made it to the right place, and now is the right time. Welcome to Powerless to Powerful. This is the #1 positive side of addiction podcast for men. This is a no BS approach to keeping it simple and kicking addiction in the ass. In today's session, I'm going to give you 5 small steps or ideas that I can promise you will elicit big change, not just in your recovery, but in your life because of it. If you're here and listening to the audio version of this on one of the podcast forums, man, welcome to you. If you're watching it on one of the new video platforms, welcome to you as well. My goal here is to inspire men to know that you can win at this game. If what we talk about here at Powerless to Powerful inspires you, be sure and subscribe. Step into the circle. We love men who are on the same path that we do, men who want to win at their recovery and win at their life because of it. If again, make sure you subscribe, and if what I'm talking about inspires you, share it with somebody else, because I can promise you guys, men need help. Let's do our part to help them. All right, small step number 1, and if you follow me for any length of time, you know I've been at this for quite a while now. If you follow me for any length of time, this is not new information. You know, I updated it and put it in the new version of the book, Powerless to Powerful, and I'll put a link in the description where you can get your hands on the audio book for next to nothing. This stuff will change your life. Small step number 1, man, you have to make a decision. The word decision means to cut off all other options. You need to cut off all other options as it relates to your journey in recovery. I did this when I started my journey back in 1999. I simply told myself it didn't matter. When my counselor asked me if I was willing to go to any lengths, and I said yes, what did that mean? That means I had cut off all other options other than winning the game in my recovery. Not making a decision about your recovery means you are making one about your addiction. Let that sink in. Have you made a decision as it relates to your recovery? Small step number 1 that can elicit huge change in your life, make a decision about your recovery. Number 2, know that everything is a test, right? The addiction is going to do anything to keep itself alive. Everything is a test. View it as such. And here's the deal. What you have to understand is the tests never end. When you pass the test, you get to go on to the next one. If you fail, you get to start over, maybe a little bit wiser, but you find yourself back at square one trying to do this all over again. Small step number 3, and this is a big one. It may offend many of you. Don't convince yourself that relapse is part of recovery. It is not. Relapse is part of addiction. There are lots of men who die thinking that they have another chance. I've watched it for over 26 years. Giving yourself permission to do it once makes it easier the second time. Do it twice, it makes it easier the third time. Look for reasons. Surround yourself with men who help you find reasons to stay clean and sober, not excuses to not stay clean and sober. Because let me tell you, brother, if you're looking for an excuse, just pick one, because anyone will do. Relapse can be part of your story, and hopefully it's a small part of your story if it has. But today, do not view relapse as part of your recovery. It is addiction winning. Doesn't matter whether you've been around 1 month, 10 months, 10 years or more. Relapse, if you are relapsing, you are doing something wrong in this game. Small step number 4. Again, these are 5 steps that I'm giving you that can elicit huge change in your recovery and in your life because of it. This is a big one. Focus on the quality of your time in recovery, and the quantity takes care of itself. You know, I hear guys say all the time, man, I'd love to have as many years as you do. No, you don't. You don't want to be 26 years from now. You want to live your best life between now and then. Focusing, and this is what I've done for my recovery and for my life. I focused on the quality of my time, and the quantity has taken care of itself. Know this, long-term recovery is the natural progression of personal, professional, and spiritual growth. You are on that path, and it's time for you to win. Again, focus on the quality of your time. There are lots of guys who have, that are part of the Powerless to Powerful Men's Alliance that we have, guys that have been around 6 months, 8 months, maybe a year, who have a quality in their recovery, man, that I'd love to add to mine. They inspire me. But then there are guys, you go sit down at a meeting and sit next to a guy that's 10 years clean and sober, and the quality of his recovery is just not any good. The quantity is good, but the quality's not. Again, focus on the quality of your time in recovery, and the quantity takes care of itself. Long-term recovery is the natural progression of you changing your life personally, professionally, and spiritually, and that's what we're all about here at Powerless to Powerful. All right, number 5, and this is a big one. Understand what that first step says, but more importantly, understand what it doesn't say. The first step says powerless over my addiction. It does not say powerless over my life. You need to learn to control the controllables and control your reactions to the things that you can't control. You can control your clean date. You need to take ownership of it and protect it with your life. I know my life depends on me keeping my clean date 7/29/99. You can control your process. You need to take ownership of the direction that you're going in your recovery. It's not up to your sponsor. It's not up to people at meetings. This is about a game that you can win, and you are personally responsible for your results, be they good or bad. You can control your decisions. Again, cut off all other options as it relates to your addiction. You can control your emotions. It doesn't matter whether you feel like it. Doesn't matter whether something angers you. You need to learn to control your emotions, not be controlled by them. You can't control what others do. You can't control what goes on in the world around you, but you can control your emotions and your reactions to the things that you can't control. Again, control the controllables, let go of the other ones, and control your emotions as it relates to them. So for a no bullshit, honest, in your face approach to recovery, be sure and subscribe. You can also get the 2025 edition of Powerless to Powerful, A Modern Man's Guide to Defeat the Goliath of Addiction. You can get the audiobook for next to nothing. You can listen to it just like you do here. Listen to it as a podcast. I'll put a link in the comments. Again, there were 5 simple things to do. Again, recovery is a simple process for complicated people. I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to say it over and over and over. It's not in my nature to be powerless. I was born in the image and the likeness of a powerful God. You were too. That's why I say all the time, it's not in my nature and it's not in yours to be powerless. My name is Mark, and I went from powerless to powerful, and you can too. We'll see you next time on the #1 Positive Side of Addiction podcast for men, Powerless to Powerful. Be great in all you do today. Bye for now.